Obviously 2 people. And then it's probably mostly those haulers, actually. I assume with 58 people, we probably have 5 to 10 children that are just utterly worthless. So it really would be a great time to stop and do military. And actually, it seems to be dropping, so it's down to 16. So we're actually just gonna keep chugging along then. I'm fine with that. Okay. And I have a trade depot, but I don't have crafts being made. And I don't remember. I'm gonna go ahead and peek at Dwarf Therapist here and see if I have a crafter. I do have one crafter. Limit Force is a crafter. We are going to go ahead and add a second crafter, which is Subliminal. So, hello, Shadow. So there, now we have 2 crafters. That should keep one shop running pretty much non-stop for when he sleeps. Oh, here is another minecart we already had set up. I forgot we did do one. This is my automated refuse. It drops it down this shaft, goes over, presses this pressure plate. The pressure plate then removes this bridge that has the trash on it so that it can drop into this plate, doubling as both like a lid to the trash can to keep the miasma from going up the shaft, and it is keeping, say somebody does go in there to get bones or something like that, it does. And I have my corpses drop down there, so if they go in to get a corpse to bury it in my graveyard, if they reach in there, they don't get slammed on the head by the next corpse. So it does lower that fall distance if I drop a dwarf 10 floors. I don't want to kill one dwarf with another when he's just trying to bury a third. That's a problem. Okay, so make sure none of these are suspended. I don't know what's taking so long. Probably me talking. I'm probably the problem. We did sort all of our plants into both brewable and not brewable, leaving plump helmets in both because I wanted there to be an equal chance until I can build an automated sorter. I can build an automated sorter where it'll split them in half for me, but that's going to take some power. So that's a whole nother ball game. Speaking of power, that would be a good long-term project for my miners. Power is pretty interesting. It's going to take a lot of power to do this, so we're actually going to make our door right here. And this is going to be a power plant. And we'll put that behind a door so that it's lockable. I don't want somebody getting in there and effing with all those. I'm going to load that down with water wheels, and I'm going to trust that there's flow at the edge of the map because of the aquifer. If there's not, then those will just be wasted, and we will build some dwarven power plants, as I did in my last fort. No, my first fort. My first fort had dwarven power plants in it. Got those set up in the last day of it. It only lasted about 3 casts, so that's, if any of you don't know how to make a basic dwarven reactor without the hack, that is a legitimate dwarven reactor. Okay. Now we did forget to do something ishy as my broker, bookkeeper, manager, which means something ishy will need a chair. So I don't know if I already have chairs, but okay, get that going. Okay. And I did experiment with the difference between kind of digging and building track. I really prefer building. It's a lot more permanent. Can't be, it can't be dicked with by me. So, Drew, what mods is he using? Is he? Is that me? I'm not using any mods for this. I simply have a tile set up. I do use Dwarf Therapist, and that's about it. So I don't know what mods you're speaking of, but I don't generally play a lot of modded games. So, and the FPS counter is just available by adjusting your text files. It's already in there. It's just defaulted to no, not displaying. And then I get such high FPS because this is my work computer, so it's a little more powerful than generally anybody's gaming computer would be. Plus, I'm running it on Mac, and Unix systems are amazing. Okay. Carpenter's Workshop. How are we doing on wood? Where is my wood stockpile? Okay, there's my Carpenter's Workshop. There's my wood stockpile. And so that means that we've doubled up. So up around my trade depot, I put all the shops that don't have a home yet. But that one does have a home, so there's no reason for that. So we started by automating food, and then we realized, wow, we should really automate wood while we're at it, because in order to get the barrels, that goes ahead and automates wood. So each industry, I mean, they're all interlocking, so that's just the nature of it. So wood has one input, wood, 3 outputs for me, which my 3 outputs are cages, which are going to go to an animal stockpile, barrels, which are going to go to cooking, and then everything else. All of your any beds you make, anything like that, any mechanisms, all that can all go up and be stored in a mass furniture mechanisms, just crap. You know, I don't need all that stuff to be sent, because there's not another industry that's dependent on those things per se initially. So that's how I divided that out. I could always dig out another one later. So we have one there. He's making beds. That means that one can go. I don't know why. Okay, he's just going to get in a rock. Wondered where he was. So we've got that. Let's cancel that. We have logs there. I'm not seeing more logs, which is a problem. We've got some up here on the surface. But it looks like if we were to get sieged, we'd really be out of trees here. So it looks like there's a couple designated for Slythe to get to, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're going to go ahead and designate some more, just in case I forget later. Yeah, Linux is great. It just takes a lot more setup, and Mac's done all this for me, which I appreciate. So, yeah, Linux is great. Okay, now what we're doing there, for those of you that were not there for that, is we're building a wall around this. I don't remember what material I'm using. Granite. Naturally, the furthest material. And that's going to be our above ground farm. We could build a floor over that, and it should, unless he's fixed that, keep its outdoor flag. So it would be great for that. But, yeah. You don't like iCrap? But iPhoto is amazing now. It's gotten so powerful. iCal, syncing to my phone, shooting my contacts out to the cloud. So when you do things like in the middle of all my stress, I put my iPhone in the washer, and it was down for a couple days before I dried it out. Had it killed it, I could have got another iPhone and it would have automatically synced all that back up. I mean, there's a lot of great things that all that iCrap does, but I understand if you don't make use of all those things, then you're paying for something and you're getting something that's not really taking advantage of it. So I would understand Linux. I don't understand Microsoft, but that is a whole nother discussion. Okay. So here is where my above ground farm will be. I'm not ready to connect it with the fort till that wall is completed, because I'm not looking at making a second entrance. Unlike in the real world where a second entrance means you can evade fire, second entrance in Dwarf Fortress is just an awful idea. And my fiance is actually, she's an architecture also, and that's what she asked me, is I got attacked by a dragon and everything was on fire, and all the dwarves were running around, and she's like, what's happening? And I was like, oh no, he lit the ground on fire, and it was underground, like on a surface level, so there was brush, and it just shot. It was roasting, and dwarves were melting in their armor, and it was just awful. And she's like, well, where's your second mode of egress? Where's your fire exit? I was like, you don't have fire exits. In the real world, we don't have goblins, so something has to give here. So I couldn't believe she was impressing code upon my fortress. She does like the one wiki post that she does quote when she's willing to listen to my rants about Dwarf Fortress, which she could care less about, is she does call this a midget fort game. So only thing that makes Apple goods are the mobile devices. Yes, until I don't know. I like Unix. I love that my Mac just came out of the box. I'm perfectly capable of building a PC, and before I switched to Mac, I used to build my own desktops. But then I realized, like, why is my time worth that? Like, why am I hassling with that when somebody else can do it for me? And this Mac, I can stream this over to my Apple TV, which I have all of them now, because my personal company is actually all on Apple. So we buy a lot of those things. We develop mobile apps, so we have to be able to test them. So I do have the hard life of having to have a company iPad and company iMac. And then I already owned my own Mac laptop and iPhone, so everything plays nice together, which I appreciate. But you guys keep distracting me. We are back up to 25 idlers. Oh, that is because the mine carts are done. Okay, so those are done. We don't have more. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's... I think I'm building it out of mudstone. No, I don't want kennels. I want granite. Man, I am hardcore. I don't remember all this. Okay. Where's Sal? Mudstone must be my other fort. This is probably what's making this take so long, so... Why is it blocked? What are you talking about? Blocked. Whatever. Deal with it in a second. Must be somebody standing there or something. No, that wouldn't do anything. I don't know. I don't like building both at once anyway. It's bad practice. You can, if both jobs get suspended and they take the ramps down, you can end up locked, and so this is probably better. We'll just build around. I do build two-way track because until it's powered, if it tries to roll backwards, I don't know if they've fixed this, but it does have some issues. It doesn't know how to go the other way, and so the door will be like, oh, fuck it, and it'll just stay there. So don't do that. Ooh, we're here. Okay, let's start doing that, and then let's